Hello again, guys and girls. Today I very excitedly have the Aprilia Tuono V4 Factory 2021 model. A friend of mine has kindly lent this to me today to do some little review of it. I promised him I'd clean it, so I'll give it a little spruce over, but I'll give it a good scrub later. This model is the 1100cc 1077 if you want to be pedantic, 175 horsepower and 89 foot-pound of torque. Has Brembo calipers front and rear, nice setups with the Brembo radial master cylinder. It has Olin suspension front and rear, fully electronic, fantastic bit of kit, and it also has the Aprilia slip-on from Aprilia with the link pipe. My friend has got a few Evotech bits on it, some quite nice tidy little things. He plans to get some covers and some other bits and bobs. Now this colour as a whole is very nice. I do like the red and black, I do, although I'm not too keen on the keeping up of it. It gets very dirty very easily and very quickly, and there's a lot of brake dust around on the thing. So also you get a bit of this, a bit of black from your trousers, which is a shame because it looks very nice when it's clean. He's got the SW Motec tank bag. He only has a small one. I've actually just invested myself in one of these. Make life a lot easier with doing vlogs and videos. Now this bike he's had for a few months now. He's only done about 1500 miles on it, but it sounds amazing and rides lovely. He's a man of, I think he's 5'8". He's not the tallest of men, but he definitely fits perfectly on this thing. It absolutely sounds amazing. Now this, to me, this is one of the best sounding vehicles, best sounding motorcycles on the market currently. As long as you get the exhaust and stuff on them. The V4 in this just has a crisp, it's like bark. It just sounds amazing to me. Genuinely, I think one of the best sounding motorcycles on the market currently available. In that note, let's have a little listen to it, shall we? I'll go around this way. Very nice, comfortable looking bike. This is apparently a seat. I can't quite believe it myself, but apparently it is. Apparently that's a pillion seat. Not sure who'd be very comfortable on that. Actually what we'll do is we'll do a bit of the dash first. So, coming from my BMW, this dash, there's a lot going on, and from what I could work out, it's quite a confusing system to use. They're not the most intuitive, they never have been. They've always been known for a bit of that. You've got your cruise control button up here, which also doubles as your wheelie control, I believe. You have traction control under here. You've got levels of traction control that change up and down. Minus button. It would have been nice for them to have utilised that for several things. If you could scroll across and then do wheelie control at the same with the same thing, that would be a nicer feature, I think. Maybe something to look at, Aprilia. Not that you'll ever listen to me. What else do we have? Yeah, so we've got different modes. You press and hold this, I believe. I do not believe I'm wrong, clearly. Yes, we've got a few modes this way. Fuel shows you MP gallon, miles per gallon on several units. This bike, the miles per gallon on this bike is not very good. This has a larger tank than my BMW S1000R, and yet drinks its tank sooner than that does. Ridden the same. Actually ridden quite calmly for the most part, but you don't buy these for the miles per gallon. You buy them for the smiles per gallon, as a lot would say. So we've got a lot of menus here. I dare say reading the manual would get you more information on it, but that's cruise control. I think you click it across. Now let's have a listen. Let's just go ahead and have a listen. We're currently in sport mode, but that doesn't make it the change on the tone. Now just idle. Just to idle, this thing just tells you it's got some power. Just sitting here. The baffle is removed from the Aprilia, but it just commands, doesn't it? I mean, this throttle genuinely the best sounding unit around currently. Be interesting to hear what the Ducati Street Fighter V4 is in comparison to this when it's got its aquaponic system on it. That will be interesting to hear, and that will come at a later date, hopefully. There's a dog running away. He's having the time of his life. So let's have a little sit on it, because what I do find is this is a lot smaller in comparison. So in terms of the feel, for me, I'm 6 foot, just over, and I can flat foot this bike no problem at all, albeit I'm a little bit stiff in these trousers, but I can flat foot this no issues. I'm not sure on the seat height, but it does feel noticeably smaller than my S1000R. I notice you seem to be very low down on this tank, but I guess that's to give you a bit more room with everything else. Handlebars are nice. It's got a nice view. Oh. Now, first impressions are it's noticeably lower and smaller than a few other bikes I've ridden. I have in comparison, my S1000R does feel a lot higher up, and you sit in the bike rather than on it. I do feel very much on this bike. It's got the bar end mirrors, nothing too special. These are HJC, I believe, and they do the job. Not in the position I'd like them, and they are a bit. I hate having to lift your arm to find them to see where they're going, but it is what it is. Nice tinted bottle from Brembo. Now, the riding position for your legs. Everything from this, I believe, is taken directly from the Aprilia V4 Factory. So the riding position, the seating position is all very similar and the same. The tank, the lot is the same as that. The only difference is the handlebars are on the triple tree will come off and you're on a handlebar rather than clip-ons, which will be well, probably very uncomfortable in some respects, but I can imagine when you're riding on track it's quite a nice feeling. Now this unit itself, I have found, has a very poor turning circle. Really is not very far at all, but again, that's probably just because of the way that they run it. Now in terms of the gears, 1 down, 5 up, as always. But the low speed manoeuvring is quite juddery. It does seem to need some clutch work in first, just riding around slowly. But squeaky brakes, but she feels good. Not sure what this bus driver's doing here. Clearly having the time of his life. Now I do feel a lot further forward over everything. Maybe because none of this plastic's move. Put that down. Oh, indicator. Press the horn whilst looking for the indicator there. Now it still feels very smooth. The whole bike just rides nice. Low speed takeoffs, clutch control. A few vibrations, nothing too special. We should avoid those drains. Now, just that sound, just sound. Oh, there's no arguing that. That sounds awesome. Now this is quite comfortable riding around. I'm I'm not leaned over, I'm sat upright, which I suppose is the point of a naked bike. In terms of gears, I don't think it could sit happily in 6th gear and cruise around town. Definitely not something this is able to do. I would imagine it would not like that. So we're 2nd gear. Has a quick shifter up and down on this, which is, well, it's a must-have really in today's riding, today's bikes. See, there we go. It's starting to judder. That's 3rd gear, and it feels a bit. The quick shifter feels smooth. I mean, I haven't used it recently, but quick shifter itself, it's quite stiff there. Let's try and go up a gear. Yeah, it doesn't like low speed use. It's not keen on that. It's definitely not sure on low speed stuff, is it? There was a hole. There's no pressure on my wrists. There we go. A bit more RPMs, and that quick shifter works lovely. Works just how you expect it to. See? But that's, yeah, 3rd gear, low speeds. Kind of feel that it wants to stall, but I don't think it does. Now, what's it like in 1st gear? Oh. Sixth gear, 30 mile an hour. It is not keen on. Yeah, definitely not keen on 30 mile an hour in 6th gear, this thing. We won't torture it. Try to get out of these bumps. It feels nice and agile, and absolutely like it's ready to go at any point. And I believe it is. Absolutely believe that it is. A lot of engine braking. Nearly an accident, wasn't it? So on the fly we can adjust traction control and its modes. Now I don't know, I think the mode button is on the right hand side here. This is traction control, I believe. Is it? I don't know how to activate traction control. Ah, there we go. That's confusing. How does that? Ah, there we go. Is that on? Ah, there we go. Yeah. So that's traction control on. That's very confusing to use. It's not exactly straightforward. Riding modes, user, AWC, anti-wheelie control disabled, touring, and sport. There we go. Take this little gem up the bypass. Doesn't take much at all to get this thing opening. the sound, oh, no denying it. There's no denying it. That sounds immense, this thing. From the minute you open the throttle, you haven't got to wait, you haven't got to get it anywhere, just truly is a little masterpiece, this thing. That's... So how do you turn the cruise control off without it flashing? There we go. So you hold it. Okay, fine. Weather's not looking great. We'll see how she feels on some of the twisties. At my favourite little road, and we'll head out that way for a bit. Oh, that throttle response. And that's what I mean about these. That instant throttle response really does make this thing a joy to ride. I will be taking it easy, it's not my bike. The throttle feel is a bit odd. It seems to be either on, there's no, you can't feather it, you can't, doesn't seem to, I mean you can here, but when you're off and then back on it at the high RPMs, there's no slow progression onto it. But my, does this sound good. There you go, jump. There's no self-cancelling indicator on this, as I keep finding out. Mode switching's quite nice. Just have one button. The one button, throttle off, and that'll switch. We shall leave her in sport for now. Let's open her up again. It does feel less ready to turn. Like I seem like I have to put more effort to get it to twist, to get it to turn in the corners. It's probably because I'm not used to it, I'm sure. I mean, Aprilia don't have 54 world titles for nothing. At no point are there any horrible vibrations or anything through your nether regions. It just there's no vibrations on the handle, but there are vibrations, there's no arguing that, but there's nothing horrible. You know, there's no vibrations that make you feel you don't want to carry on giving it some. Nothing makes your mirrors go vibrating. Now inline 4s do suffer with that. My S1000R just as much. But this doesn't seem to have any of that. It seems very balanced, very... Oh. Cheers, love. You can just tell this thing would not feel out of place on a track. The ride is brilliant, absolutely superb. The throttle response from everything, just fantastic. I'd love to get to know this bike more and ride it harder. Really get to know it. Now originally I thought I felt quite small on the bike felt quite small between my legs, but actually now, having been on it for a little while, it's not the case at all. It is a little bit, and I dare say some adjustments could be made to make it feel better for me, someone of 6 foot. But I mean, this is lovely. I'm still comfortable. I've got no knee pain. I've not been on it that long, but I've got no knee aches, nothing. I don't feel cramped. I don't feel like I'm out where I don't need to be. I don't feel like I shouldn't be on it. That quick shift is so smooth. Once you get the RPM up, just brakes are brilliant. I'll give them a little test in a minute. Oh, does want to lift the front end, but those brakes are phenomenal. What do you expect from Brembo? Really, I mean that. Brilliant. All the crackles. Now I don't know if that was me, but it did seem to hold back. This thing just wants to pull you out your skin. That throttle, I'm not keen on that throttle. Can't get over the sound of this thing. I really cannot understand how this can sound so good. Kudos, Aprilia, kudos to that one. Just arriving in Finching Field, my local haunt, as they would say. Whose horse is that? Yeah, definitely need to control the clutch a bit more than expected, and the turning circle is terrible. Nope, not keen on that. Now fuel economy, well, fuel economy is not that great. I filled this up this morning. I've done only a few miles and I'm 2 bars down already. People say about the MT10 being empty 10. I don't know, I think this is a good contender for first place on that one. Oh, just let me through. Thank you, sir. But along these country roads with this exhaust tone and this riding quality, you don't care about fuel economy. That is not what it's about. This thing brings joy for hours. Just that sound as it reverberates off the road. I mean, I'm not going full throttle. I think that's the end of it for us now, guys. I'll take this back to my friend, let me know how much fun I've had on it, and I'll catch you in the next one, hopefully. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tune in for more. Got some nice tasty bikes coming up soon, albeit a little bit slow. It's getting hold of the bikes and stuff, that makes it a little bit more difficult. But yeah, hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.